This is my client Matt, and today we'll be working on how to fix common mistakes. So Matt, what do you want to do with your hair today?
Just want to fade on the side.
Awesome. Okay, what kind of fade?
Just like a regular fade.
Okay, awesome. How, a ball fade?
Yeah, ball fade.
Awesome.
Hey man, could I just get it a little higher?
Oh, so you didn't want a lower fade?
A little higher.
So a common mistake would be starting the fade too low while the client wanted higher. But because we didn't do proper consultation, we didn't choose where the fade should start. So that was the problem there. So you always want to consult to make sure you know where you're going to start the fade. And it's good to tell the client that, hey, listen, Matt, do you want the haircut over here or over here? Make sure you could show them visibly where you want to start the fade so you're both on the same page. So Matt wanted the fade about medium, usually where the temple is, so that we get a nice contrast on the hair. His head shape, he's got no protruding O-bones in the back or anything, like not a lot of protruding bones around. So it's okay to kind of actually go straight across and give him a nice bald tight fade, which will look really good. And we're really going to accentuate the curls on the top so it really pops out. So with curly hair, you have a really cool contrast where with curly hair and like mixed hair, you'll have the fade really popping out if you do it right. From really short, lighter to darker. See a red mark or demarcations or anything that you create with the clipper putting pressure onto the scalp? Like for example, if you see a red mark after you just clip someone's hair, that red mark should not be there. That means you're actually pushing too hard and pressing too hard. The pressure that you should be giving with the clipper onto the client's head, you have to have a very light hand. You don't want to push too hard against the scalp where you're going to see like a red mark. Remember, the blade is sharp. You have the blade going like this and you're poking at the client's scalp. Of course, it's going to make a red line and a red mark. So try keeping the surface really flat and let the blade touch as you're flicking up. And then if you're using the corner of the blade, make sure you're in an angle where the blade is just touching their scalp. Really easy. You don't want to go into the hair and the scalp and really dig in. So don't force going in, but instead think about gliding. So another way is to actually tilt the client's head over so you can see the fade and the shadow. There's no shadows. You could actually stretch the skin so you could have one hand onto this client's head and you could hold it and use your thumb to stretch out the skin as you're fading. So that's super important where if you have like dark spots around the hair, if you stretch the skin, it'll be easy to catch those dark spots. So remember, when you place the clipper onto the head, you always want to feel it, right? So feel the connection with the blade or the clipper guard connected to the person's scalp and just feel like the motion just gliding through. And a lot of people have grooves on the head shape, so just really keep the surface as flat as possible and then create like a C motion. So always pull towards you at the end. Cutting to the hairline. A shape up is cutting along the natural hairline to straighten it. Shape ups and edge ups are the fundamental outline for haircuts today. One of the biggest mistakes is cutting too far in someone's hairline. The reason why it's so bad to push back someone's hairline is because the growth phase after when you cut grows out looking grainy and bushy. Bad shape up takes your hairline up further than it needs to be. This is important to understand that the caring about the client's hairline in real life is more important than a picture on Instagram you want to post. In order to accomplish the natural hairline, just use a comb or brush to push the hair down and start the hairline where you know you're not going to finish it and slowly move to the finish line of completion. Playing it safe is better than doing it all wrong. It can lead to severe consequences, like a very unhappy client. Another common mistake most barbers do is not using the mirror as a tool to help with the haircut. What I mean by this is using the mirror to help see the uneven side. Some barbers sometimes spend too much time going back and forth by looking directly at the haircut. This can be time consuming and not as efficient to create both sides as even as possible. It is a great way to use a second visual to correct errors that may have unevenness in the haircut. You can correct this by turning the chair to one side, and by looking at the mirror, you could balance both guidelines.